Megalodon got all the attention. Wrong choice. There were things walking, swimming, and crawling through prehistoric Earth that make Megalodon look like a goldfish with ambition, and every single one of them would have killed you. Not chased you, killed you, before you heard them coming. 8 animals, 8 ways to die horribly. Let's go. Maposaurus. Bigger than T-Rex. Faster than anything that size had any right to be. This 12-meter predator from Cretaceous Argentina didn't just hunt large prey. It hunted the largest prey that ever walked the earth. Argentinosaurus. A sauropod so massive it weighed 70 tons. Maposaurus didn't care. Fossils from the Candelaros Formation revealed something that changed everything. Multiple Maposaurus individuals buried together. Same site, same time. Scientists call it evidence of pack or group behavior. Translation: this thing coordinated. It didn't wait for weakness, it created it. 6-centimeter serrated teeth designed not to kill clean, but to wound deep. Open arteries, force blood loss. It didn't need to finish the fight, it needed to outlast it. When Maposaurus disappeared 93 million years ago, the giants it hunted had no answer for what replaced them. But while the land was perfecting size, the ocean was already running a much older, much weirder experiment. 300 million years ago, before dinosaurs were even a blueprint. Adestus. No teeth. Worse. Adestus had a single row of interlocking blades extending from both upper and lower jaws like pinking shears the size of a man's arm. A carboniferous shark, 6 meters long, 300 million years old. Before reptiles. Before dinosaurs. Before almost everything. Scientists spent decades arguing about how that jaw even worked. The current consensus? It didn't bite down. It slashed sideways. A lateral scissoring motion that tore prey open rather than clamping shut on it. No other predator in history used that mechanism. None before it, none after. Imagine something built so specifically for destruction that evolution never tried it again. The ocean retired the design entirely. But before Adestus, before sharks, before fish had even finished deciding what they were, something else owned the water. And it wore its skeleton on the outside. Jacalopterus. The largest arthropod that ever existed. Not a sea creature in the traditional sense. It lived in freshwater rivers and estuaries 390 million years ago during the early Devonian. Its size was calculated from a single 46-centimeter claw fossil found in Germany. That claw, still missing a quarter of its length, suggested a body stretching 2.5 meters. Add the chelicerae fully extended, and the total reaches over 3.5 meters. A scorpion, freshwater, the size of a compact car. It hunted armored fish, other arthropods, anything that moved through those ancient river systems. Its compound eyes suggest high visual acuity. It didn't stumble around, it aimed. Scientists named it after German paleontologist Otto Jackel, which feels like a cruel tribute to give someone. We found the largest invertebrate predator in Earth's history. We named it after you. But Jacalopterus was at least built for what it did. Something entirely different crawled out of the wreckage. Something that refused to stay in the water where it belonged. Purussaurus. A crocodilian that refused to stay in the water. 6 meters long. Fully upright posture. Long cursorial legs built for sustained running on land. This wasn't an ambush predator waiting at a riverbank. This was a pursuit predator. A crocodile that chased you. Its Triassic nickname among paleontologists is boar croc, because of its interlocking canine-like teeth that projected outward from the jaw, designed to grip, tear, and hold while running. It weighed around 1,500 kilograms. Modern crocodiles can briefly gallop, but it looks like a glitch in their programming. For Purussaurus, it was the default setting. A 1,500-kilogram crocodilian, built for open-ground pursuit, with locking teeth and the stride to run prey down across any terrain. When the end Triassic extinction hit 201 million years ago, it vanished. The land briefly exhaled. Then, on a continent drifting alone through the ocean, evolution ran the experiment again. From scratch, in total isolation. Rajasaurus. India was an island 66 million years ago. Separated from every other landmass, its predators evolved with zero outside competition. The result? A 9-meter abelosaurid with a single nasal horn, forelimbs even shorter than T-Rex, and a skull reinforced with dense bones suggesting headbutting behavior between individuals. Its jaw muscles concentrated at the rear of the skull, a bite-and-hold design built for prolonged contact, not precision. It crushed, it held, it waited. Rajasaurus didn't need to be the most sophisticated predator on Earth. It just needed to be the most dangerous thing on one island. When the Chicxulub impactor ended the Cretaceous, Rajasaurus went with everything else. But on that same drifting continent, millions of years later, the mammals had been quietly building their own answer. And their answer was enormous. Simba Kubwa, before lions, before leopards, before any cat alive today. There was this. Simba Kubwa kutoka Afrika, Swahili for great lion from Africa. Except it wasn't a lion. It wasn't even a cat. It was a hyenodont, a completely separate carnivorous mammal lineage that evolved predatory dominance entirely independently from anything alive today. Its skull alone matched the size of a rhinoceros skull. Body mass estimates range from 280 to over 1,400 kilograms. The lower bound alone exceeds every living terrestrial predator. It lived 23 million years ago in the early Miocene. Shearing teeth optimized for large prey. A skeleton suggesting bone-crushing force. It was the apex before the apex existed. Simba Kubwa disappeared as global cooling restructured African ecosystems, and early felids began competing for the same niche. The mammals replaced the mammals. A vacancy opened. And in the ocean, something had already been waiting in it for millions of years. Perfectly still, neck extended, invisible until it wasn't. Thalassemodon. 18 meters total. Half of that was neck. Thalassemodon was a late Cretaceous plesiosaur with 62 individual vertebrae in its neck alone, more than almost any plesiosaur ever documented. The old assumption was that it swept that neck through fish schools like a slow pendulum. More recent biomechanical analysis disagrees. The neck was largely rigid, moved as a single unit, which means the strategy was stealth, not sweep. It held its body still, let its small head drift forward on that extraordinary neck, and struck before the bulk of its torso registered as a threat. Gastroliths recovered from specimens, heavy stones swallowed deliberately, suggest precision ballast for controlled depth management. It weighed an estimated 10,000 to 12,000 kilograms and patrolled the western interior seaway, the inland sea that split North America in half. It didn't fight its prey. It appeared beside them. There was no land equivalent of that kind of patience, but there was a land predator that solved the same apex problem using an entirely different blueprint, one that evolution would later plagiarize completely. Postosuchus. The Triasic's answer to T-Rex, arriving 185 million years too early to meet one. Postosuchus was a Rawasuchian archosaur, not a dinosaur, but built so similarly that early classifications confused the two entirely. 4 to 6 meters long. Fully upright when moving fast, quadrupedal at rest. Its skull measured nearly a meter with recurved serrated teeth, functionally identical to theropod dinosaurs that wouldn't evolve for another 30 million years. Convergent evolution. Two completely unrelated lineages solving the apex predator problem and arriving at the same answer independently. It dominated late Triassic North America from 228 to 201 million years ago. Nothing in its ecosystem came close. Then the end Triassic extinction erased it. The dinosaurs that survived inherited the vacancy, and for 135 million years, they never gave it back.